Hi guys. Welcome back to I don't know what to say.
Banjo.
The guy from that Minecraft game character. Last time we did the worst.
The guy, anyone who didn't grow up in like the 80s and 90s, wondered why the fuck is he being added to Smash?
Because it proves how much Nintendo and Microsoft love to kiss each other. That's a joke, but not really.
I mean, if you ever look at console tons.
Yeah. Last time we did the worst level in the game. We talked about Danganronpa for 2 hours straight.
We can do that again.
We could do that, yeah. And we fucking will, but
eventually.
Beforehand,
there's probably some more things we should talk about.
Yeah, I did mention.
I had to focus a lot more on the game.
And if the game audio is a bit louder or pretty echo, let it be known we have an AC on and we want to actually hear the game. And yep, it's that time of the year where we have to turn on that goddamn AC.
I'm sure no one's gonna miss that when it's gone again.
Because I fucking love air conditioning. Leave a like if you get the reference. Yeah, it's an Mario reference.
I know.
Okay. That game got removed from Game Pass as well as due to an error in the entire Xbox store. So my save is gone. The save we did for the channel is gone. Rip.
Rip Bozo.
Rip Bozos. Right.
Oh yeah, you just found out after I
you pointed it out and it's like, oh yeah. I can because I never knew
that the shooting was a fucking attack.
And I 100% this game in like a week, and I never knew. Yeah, you can do that. Was that really 1 week? Goddamn. I remember that week. I was like, it was November, and I still had the base Xbox One. It wasn't fun because it was really starting to show its age.
Yeah.
Base Xbox One.
I decided to order Burger King instead of Wendy's for once because I've had a lot of Wendy's in recent time.
So yeah, off camera I mentioned when Kevin was over, we were talking about and by we I mean Kevin and I were talking about the idea of the 3-player session, because that seems to be a recurring thing to do every other year, like 2019, 2021, now it's 2023, so it makes sense?
Yeah.
Question? But he did ask if I ever do that, please turn on the AC.
I should probably send this to like assuage his fears.
A what? Oh, yeah. I guess I could make a group chat with the 3 of us. For future proofing.
No, I'm just gonna send him a photo.
I forget how you enter this.
They're already in it.
I know, but how do you enter the sections? Because the gimmick of this world is seasons. And when I first heard that, I thought, what?
The Oracle seasons?
Actually, no. I thought, wow, depending on the time of the year you play the game, does it change aesthetic? No, it's 4 different rooms, and it's all the same room, well, all the same layout, but like...
Kevin's only response to it is AC.
Finally. It's the exact same, like, layout, but, slight things can change depending on the season. And if you listen to this music track, you'll know that every internet reviewer in history has used it at least once. The same can be said for every Banjo-Kazooie track. Because internet reviewers love to use N64 music.
And my personal favorite music to use is Valhalla music, so can't blame them.
I've never played Valhalla.
It's a good game. It's a visual novel.
Does that mean I have to read?
You also have to mix drinks.
Like how?
Basically, there's like this little menu to the side where there's 6 ingredients, and you have to like correctly make the. You even get a book telling you how the drinks are made, and you basically have to read the story and give them alcohol and like make the right choices of what to give them. But for instance, when a certain character gets really injured, you're meant to not give them a single bit of alcohol because they're fucking injured. And when the drinks that they are mentioning to give it to them, don't give them to them because again, they're asking for spicier drinks, but spicy is a horrible thing to give someone who's currently like covered up in bandages.
Yeah.
You goddamn fucking. I've seen people give it to her.
So yeah, Kevin's condition for 3 players was please bring the fucking AC in. And I assured him, don't worry, I wouldn't consider it unless it was in there. Because goddamn, I don't want 3 people to burn alive in one room.
Yeah. But yeah, if I have to say anything, it's probably my favorite visual novel of all time.
Really?
I just enjoy the world that it exists in. Basically, take any cyberpunk dystopia and just give a lens to the regular people.
I see.
The people who aren't like fighting the system or doing anything. Just a bartender and the people who would enter a bar. Be it like just regular people, people of importance, or heck, even a visiting a visiting idol who's trying to hide from fans and shit like that.
Yeah.
And get them like to tell their stories while being given alcohol, which by the way does in fact mean you can give them a shit ton of alcohol to get them shit faced. It's not always the best decision because it will lock you out of endings, but it is possible to get every single ending to the game in one run. It's not even that hard. You just have to make the right decisions when giving alcohol. And in the case of one ending, it's kind of a bit cryptic, but what you have to do is buy something that you normally wouldn't because it's something that the guests of that night will ask for, and just give it to them when they ask it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've seen people buy it and then not give it to them because they forget that they even have it. Calliope.
I forgot.
But yeah, it's a very nice aesthetic game.
Yeah.
Story is very compelling, and in general, I really like it a lot. If you notice, I have basically most of the achievements for it on Steam. The one achievement I don't have involves a bullet hell game that I cannot win.
That's fun.
That and the achievement to have all the achievements. But that's kind of a given since I didn't unlock all of them.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff, I decided to commit a sin and sign up for Crunchyroll. 14-day free trial.
Kevin has Crunchyroll actually.
I have the 14-day free trial. There was an account saved on my laptop for the login info, and I did not know who that was. So I asked my sister, and it turns out it's her friend's dad's. So I'm like, nah, I don't want my search history to be on someone else's account. As it turns out, Crunchyroll does not have a profile option.
Yep. It's fucking weird.
So yeah, I got Crunchyroll Premium for 14 days, and I decided to expose myself to panning and stalking with what's her face?
With Carter Bell.
And
that's a guy.
And it is, yeah, I meant to say, and it's something, alright.
It's batshit crazy.
Yeah, it's something.
I love it. I am so happy that it's coming back.
Yeah. I watched half one episode, but then I didn't want my dad to turn around and see what I was watching because I was watching right next to him. So I just stopped
That is very smart.
For now.
By the way, the English dub is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I watched it in dub, and for some reason the English dub, the English voice for Shanty was giving me PTSD or something. So I was like, this sounds really familiar. So I looked it up. It was fucking the voice actress who did Junto in the Danganronpa anime, and it all clicked. And the war flashbacks just came back to me.
If you can't handle it, watch it in Japanese.
Yeah,
it has rolling R reviews, so
I just think it's fun. I think it's funny.
Yeah,
That was an exaggeration, but
it is a lot of fun if you can stomach the stuff that they're saying.
yeah.
Like the two angels there are some of the crudest characters I've ever seen in fiction.
Like I only stopped because my dad was in the room.
Reshoot.
It's invincible, so we got. That was probably not worth it in the grand scheme of things, but I'm glad I got it.
Probably could have just lost the health.
Probably. Alright, where am I? So I watched like half of one episode of this. I can already tell. I read somewhere that creators of the show were high on this, and that explains everything.
They were very much high. The thing is, the studio that's making it is not the original studio for like the second season.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of the people who worked on it left their original studio to make the one that's now in charge of it, including the director of the entire series, who. Yeah, he's gonna be back, and he was apparently also downright like the guy in charge of the new studio.
Interesting.
So yeah, if you don't know, the reason why they're so determined to bring back an anime that wasn't even that popular in Japan in the first place is because it's a passion project for the fuckers. Like, not only is it like really popular with anime fans from the 2000s here in the West. But in Japan, it took a while, but it did eventually gain popularity. But it was basically a giant shitpost that they really enjoyed making, so it's kind of like their baby.
Yeah. Well, everything is a shitpost these days.
I mean, have you seen the episode where they basically make a?
I've seen one episode so far.
Yeah.
Even then it was half of it. Because again, I didn't want my dad to just turn around.
Just watch it with headphones.
I was watching with headphones, but like my dad was like on the same couch as me.
I mean like by yourself. Do not watch it with family around.
Yeah. So like I just didn't want to like die of secondhand embarrassment. If that makes sense.
Like even the blips are not like safe for work.
Anyways.
Oh yeah. So you remember how I was really excited about a new Superman cartoon?
Yeah.
My Adventures Superman?
Yeah.
It started coming out.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it looks really good. Kevin also thought it was really good from the first episode he watched because the first episode's free on YouTube right now for us Americans.
Huh.
Because it's on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
They have a habit of uploading the first episodes for free.
Do non-Americans watch this?
I don't know.
I checked the statistics.
But like, it's a really good show. I'm having a lot of fun with it already. And it's really like pushing the edge for me to just get a subscription to Max.
According to the past 28 days, there's only one other country that watches this, and that's the UK.
I feel bad for them.
We have a sizable British audience.
How sizable? 2 people?
9% of viewers.
Ayo, why are you here? Like, I'm pretty sure our very American, specifically very Californian viewpoint of the world is not very enjoyable to anyone who doesn't like having to deal with our massive fucking egos.
In terms of the last 7 days, because that was the last 28, 14% of viewers are in the UK, 33% are in the US.
I love how I went out of my way to basically try and sound as American as I could for that moment.
In terms of the past 90 days, the most popular countries are US, UK, Italy, Serbia, Brazil, Canada, and Mexico. If I look at the past 365 days, the UK is still number 2. US is always number 1, I should point that out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Canada, France, which that is probably more horrifying. Georgia.
Actually, why are there's so many people from the UK watching us? I'm pretty sure we've shit-talked Britain before.
I'm pretty sure the British like to shit-talk the British as well.
Like, I'm like 95% sure we have made at least a few British aren't people jokes before.
France, Georgia.
Like, I know if like we're counting the UK, we're technically counting some parts of like
Ireland.
Yeah, like in other parts of the country that just straight up hate Britain. But I am surprised that we have any viewership from them because I'm pretty sure we might have pissed a bunch of them off for some of the shit we've said.
The United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
Italy, Serbia, Brazil, Mexico.
I'm pretty sure people grab it.
Alright. I mean, this game was made in the UK, so... Oh, wow. If you give me a good excuse to visit the UK, I'll do it. I just need a place to crash, though. And a place to visit. But I'd rather go to Ireland, because my family owns a hotel there. And I've always wanted to go. My family's been talking about it forever. Yeah. I've heard it's a nice place. Shame there's no landing button.
By the way, Logan, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced United Arab Emirates.
Well, I was pretty sure I butchered that, so... Not surprised. Alright, we opened one season. So... in terms of, like, just July, we have a lot of UK viewers. Just for some reason.
Maybe they actually do enjoy your shit. You talk about, like, how much you hate Kingdom Hearts.
In June... in June, it's just the US. In May, the UK is back. Looks like we're gonna have to start appealing to the British market.
I refuse. It might just be because we're playing Banjo-Kazooie, actually.
Yeah, I pointed out.
Rare was originally a...
They still are British.
Yeah. Are they, though, considering just how much they have to deal with the fact that Microsoft refuses to allow them to do anything other than CFPs and Kinect games?
Kinect is dead.
Yeah. I'm basically saying Rare is dead.
And, I guess, but, like, all the Rare IPs that are getting new games are being outsourced.
Yeah. It doesn't help that a lot of the people who made Rare what it was have left the company.
Yeah.
Again, a la Studio Gainax and Trigger. Granted, unlike the Trigger situation, they didn't go on to find their own company, they just quit.
Yeah.
I think they started working for other companies, but
that's usually the case. A bunch of X-Rare employees did form a company called Playtime.
why do I feel like I've heard that name somewhere?
They made Ukulele.
Ah, yes!
You remember that game?
Yeah, that was a mess. They cut JonTron out for what he said.
Yeah, but they kept him in at a time.
Honestly, it's fair. He kind of deserved it. As much of a fan of JonTron as I am, I'm very well aware that his politics are bullshit.
Yeah.
And he really should keep his mouth shut when it comes to that stuff.
I think everyone should keep their mouth shut when it comes to politics.
Exactly. Unless you really don't care about like repercussions for that.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I've been pretty upfront about my feelings towards certain things.
Anyway, okay, that was something. All of 2022, so that's a full year. The UK is still the second most popular viewership country. Maybe it's because it's also a predominantly English-speaking country.
Yeah.
That might have something to do with it.
I wonder how they feel about my sheer inability to not eat on video.
I mean, Costa Rica. So yeah. All time, lifetime, the UK has always been number 2. That's 63% of viewers aren't subscribed. What the hell are you guys doing?
I'm not shocked.
I mean, we have double-digit YouTube subscriber count. You know,
Still a good thing.
it's higher than single digit. So, alright. Ow. Oh, that was easy.
A lot of other responses. Oh well, we're getting bored.
Oh. Stuck.
Go up the way you came.
I remember once I had a weird nightmare in which I visited the UK.
But why though?
I don't know.
Like, why is this a nightmare? The UK is not exactly like a terrible place to visit.
There was British people everywhere, that's why.
Fair enough.
I do remember I went to like a local tournament down in San Jose. And there was a British person there, and I got kind of scared. Because they flew in for a bigger tournament that was the same week called Genesis.
Huh.
Which happens every January.
Didn't you go to that one too?
I did. I went to the 2022 and 2023 versions. I had a lot of fun there both times. 2022 version was held in April when they usually hold it in January because of COVID.
Yeah.
They just didn't do a 2021 version. But yeah, I got at Genesis number 8, which was 2022. I got on a YouTube channel called Panda, which eventually got canceled later that year due to a large scandal related to the CEO being a dick.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. Like, I went. They had a booth there, and they're like, "You want to be a Panda video? Come, join here." And I showed off my epic Sora skills to the world. I lost, by the way. My set for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl was also live streamed.
How'd that go for you?
People were cheering me on the live chat. I lost.
Who'd you play as again?
I played as Nigel Thornberry, and my opponent was an A player. And people in the chat were like, "Nerf Aang, Nerf Aang." And then the next year they didn't have the game at all.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Like, the big games that highlight the show are, like, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Smash Bros. Melee, Guilty Gear Strive, and Rivals of Ether. Um, Speaking of Ninja All-Stars, a sequel has been leaked again. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. That's the actual title. An image of, like a cropped image of the box art was leaked online, and we know some of the new characters they're adding. First of all, I'd like to point out Jenny is on the box art this time, after being DLC in the first.
Good.
Because, wow, she was on the box art for Kart Racers 3. And now Nickelodeon's acknowledging her.
As they should.
And it turns out she was supposed to be in the base game of All-Star Brawl. And the reason they did not add her is really stupid.
What?
They forgot to ask. But new characters in this game include Squidward. My hopes and dreams have finally come true. It only took a whole game. Jimmy Neutron himself. Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
What version?
80s.
Oh.
So I'm guessing Donnie will be there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably didn't mispronounce this, but El Tigre from whatever that show is.
El Tigre, The Adventures of Manny Rivera.
Yeah, that one.
I enjoyed it a lot as a kid.
So easy. So I'm sorry to put there a theory, because this is a Nickelodeon game from Game Mill Entertainment.
That these leaks are fake and none of this is actually happening?
No, because all of Game Mill's other Nickelodeon games got leaked in advance and they were all real. Kart Racers 2, Kart Racers 3, All-Star Brawl.
Okay.
They're all. I feel like Nickelodeon has commissioned Game Mill to put out new Nick crossover games every year, and ultimately between fighting games and Kart Racers. Because Kart Racers 1, which is a bad game, get that, was 2018.
Yeah.
Kart Racers 2 was surprisingly decent. Big improvement from Kart Racers 1. That was 2020. All-Star Brawl, surprisingly decent for what it was. But, you know, budget constraints. That was 2021. And then Kart Racers 3 hit the scene in 2022. From what I hear, that's even better than 2, so they just keep getting better and better.
Probably because they have a ton more experience.
Yeah, and a higher budget. Like Kart Racers 3, they finally added voice acting. So, All-Star Brawl 2 was likely coming this year.
I wonder if they gave voice acting to that one line from Jenny.
No, that was patched out before the voice acting patch was added. Sorry.
Who remembers that controversy?
Yeah. You wouldn't like my... I think fucking... I learned about it because, like, Camden, the guy who likes to post pirated movies in my Discord, posted a screenshot of that, and then I read somewhere it got patched out, and I was like, wait, what? Because I'm unfamiliar with the world of My Life as a Teenage Robot porn. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say, but...
No, what you should say is that you're unfamiliar with the works of Zone.
I've never even heard of that individual before. So, that's what So, and then you fucking played the audio when I put that up. Speaking of Camden posting pirated movies, he posted the entirety of Spider-Verse 2 server.
Did he? Did he get taken down?
No. It's still up.
Like, I might have to find that post later.
Beforehand, he did the entire Mario movie. And now he posted... Spider-Verse 2 is not even on home video, by the way.
Yeah.
They said it won't come until at least August.
Yeah, Kevin's not happy about that.
Oh, well.
He really wants the movie.
I did tell him about the pirated copy.
What did he say?
He's like, what the heck?
Because you want to know what I told him about, like, The fact that he can watch episode 2 of My Retro Superman on pirate, on our usual pirating site. He's like, I'm not a pirate. Bruh.
You play Sea of Thieves, my dude. So since this game is more than likely real, unlike that Disney platform fighter, and I got my request of Squidward, I'm now starting the Mr. Krabs hype train. Let's get the money man in there. I do hope they genuinely respond to the first game with this. Because,
I wonder if they're bringing in Timmy because he wasn't in the original one.
yeah, apparently there's like some sort of legal issues involving that.
Yeah.
I would love for that to be communicated, but I don't see it happening, sadly. I would love to be proven wrong. And I likely will be, because I'll always prove wrong with most things. And I see people asking for, like, third-party, non-Nickelodeon characters like Goku, and is Goku, just Dragon Ball aired on Nicktoons, so I need to know.
Yeah, it was Kai.
Sonic the Hedgehog, because Paramount owns the Sonic movies and Paramount owns Nickelodeon. And it's called Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, not
Paramount All-Star Brawl.
Not Paramount All-Star Brawl, that'd be worse.
Because let's be honest here, there had to be at least a few spots for South Park characters.
Yeah. That would be horrifying.
Now, the real question is, would it be Kenny or would it be Mysterion?
Or would it be like Zelda Sheet kind of fighter? Where he transforms upon death.
Even funnier, if he transforms between Mysterion and Princess Kenny. To go full on Zelda Sheik, remember?
Yeah. Fucking. So yeah, I hope Digital All-Star Brawl 2 takes a lot of lessons from All-Star Brawl 1, because for as surprisingly decent as that game was, it had a lot of flaws. Mainly, the lack of content. And you know, it's blatantly low budget. I can't get up there unless I...
You should come inside.
I can't.
Well.
Because, oh well. But hey, I got Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 on Steam. But I learned somewhere that certain characters' unlock requirements are locked behind playing online matches.
Oh no.
And I read that and I was like, well, that's a mistake. Well, I guess it was smart for me to buy it on PC because it would probably be the most populated version. Other than maybe Switch. But, if you're locking characters behind online multiplayer, and say the game's online servers are eventually barren and or shut down, how the fuck do you get them now?
Presumably they're going to eventually make it so that they're unlockable outside of that, but I doubt it.
They'll fix it in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 4 next year. Too hot for Panda. They'll fix it now. We get Fairly Odd Parents content in this one. We also get Denzel Crocker, because that'd be funny.
No, but you can get Denzel Washington. No, that's a super joke. But, anyways, feels like I keep forgetting something to talk about.
Shit.
What happened in recent time that's actually memorable? I finally started moving along with the story of Fake Grand Order, I guess.
Oh, really?
And I have an MP3 Koinskaya, so that's awesome. That Koinskaya is a 5-star. The fact that I managed to get 3 of her over the limited time she's been available has been fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It also helps that she's one of the best characters in the game. She just came out, but everyone knew that she'd be amazing because she's been out in Japan for a while. What other
news stuff I like to bring up?
Oh, Red vs. Blue is coming back for its final season.
Oh boy, final, wow.
Yeah, they're also seemingly retconning seasons 15 through 0 as it, like, having been simulations that didn't really happen.
Was it because they made use of Halo 5?
No, it's because 0 is really unpopular, and if you're gonna retcon 0, you might as well retcon the other really unpopular stuff, so there goes the time travel shenanigans and stuff like that. Anyways, they're picking back up over the last time that they were really popular, which is the end of the Chorus trilogy, which was season 13. The reason I say 15 has been retconned, but not 14, is because 14 is a weird mishmash of like a weird mishmash anthology of like canon episodes and non-canon episodes, which is also where all the weird animation stuff for that series goes, because it's literally just an anthology series. So like, hey, we're working on the next stuff. Here's some random stuff like an episode made out of Legos, or a few fully animated episodes and stuff like that. But funnily enough, because people like the thing is Rooster Teeth is Rooster Teeth, so there's one thing that people are obsessed with on that fucking like franchise, and that's Ruby, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that Red vs. Blue got an announcement of a final season, including the fact that the original like creators, Matt and Bernie, are coming back for this last season. Like, meanwhile, Ruby hasn't even been greenlit for a 10th volume. So basically, there's a lot of people like, it's over, isn't it? Because the chances are, if they haven't been greenlit for volume 10, they're waiting on to see if like that next DC crossover is going to be any profitable before deciding on if Ruby's just a waste of money that shouldn't be continued.
Is it?
Considering the storytelling flaws, you'd be surprised at the amount of people who say yes, let it fucking die. I've seen quite a few people are already being like, "Rip Bozo, just rest in piss, you won't be missed." To the possibility of Ruby dying. And you can tell that they might be desperate. For instance, even though they've already like canonized Bumblebee, which was a desperation move, considering how they refused to move that story along for a while. They at RTX decided to reveal a epilogue for Volume 9, where it's like this is meant to be post Volume 9, but it's like just an animatic where they have some voice acting. And they talk about like how it hasn't been greenlit, but we are working on the script. And to some people that seems to be a lot like they're trying to generate possible hype for an IP that everyone's kind of written off.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, Camp is getting a new season, so that's pretty cool because I like that show.
Never heard.
It's a very fun, like, small little series. There is one thing people are complaining about the new season of Red vs. Blue. Actually, two things. The people who are fans of the stuff that happened post Volume 13 are complaining that they're retconning everything.
Yeah.
And the people who don't care about that are complaining about one other thing, and that's the fact that the voice actor of the Caboose is almost certainly not going to be coming back because he's a dick that basically most of the people who work at Rooster Teeth don't want to have to come back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like people really like his the character and how he does the voice, and it's basically capable of being replicated.
Well, some things you gotta do.
They've had someone like replace him after like he was first let go, and people like this just doesn't sound good. So that is a thing that they're gonna have to deal with. Like, how are you gonna explain the fact that Caboose has a different voice and stuff like that, or are you gonna do anything about it? Is he gonna come back and shit like that? And people are like talking like how Matt and Bernie left also. They came back for this last season, but as people pointed out, they left on amicable terms because they didn't want to continue working for Rooster Teeth. Yeah. Meanwhile, the other guy basically got fired because he was a total dick and burned all the bridges.
Yeah. How fun. That's my cue to move on to the next season. If I can get down safely. Okay. I remember I played a lot of Halo back in early high school, I think it was. Or late middle school, early high school.
Yeah.
I played a lot of Halo, and by a lot of Halo I mean I only played 1v1s with a friend with rocket launchers only.
Yeah.
That was goofy. And the friend would always get mad at me because I was always teabagged on the death. And I'm like, if you're playing an FPS and you don't teabag, what are you doing? But yeah, I also played a lot of Tekken during that time, so I was a big Tekken player. So yes, I knew who Kazuya was when he got into Smash. How could you tell? I made the bear though, it's funny. Fun. In terms of stuff, there's no stuff. I just died. Again. Well. Yeah, everyone's going over, talking about Pitman. Or as people like to say, Peakman. I have never played a Pikmin game, though I may be misremembering, but I might have played a demo for on the Wii U. And now the entire franchise is on Switch. Now's my excuse to get into the damn thing. And then watch me just piss off everyone when I say I don't like it. You know that feeling when people like hype up something that's like really, really good, and then you see it or play it for yourself, and it's just mid. It's in your eyes.
Anyway.
No, so I kind of felt that way towards the movie Alien. People were like saying, "Oh, this is one of the best horror movies of all time," and I just kind of found it boring. I mean, it's a good movie, but I don't know. It's kind of boring.
I felt basically the same towards The Exorcist. Where, like, I watched it and I was like, not really that scary.
Alien wasn't even that scary. Though I was watching it at 10 o'clock at night with all the lights out. Which should be Pink Nightmare Fuel in the eyes of people.
Nah, Pink Nightmare Fuel's 3 a.m. Oh, really? It's more like midnight to 2 a.m.
Pink Nightmare Fuel is 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Because that's when the animatronics can get a bit more people.
6 a.m. is way too early. By then, it's already daytime.
It was a 5 Minutes of Freddy's reference.
I know, but I went to sleep like damn near 6 a.m. Trust me, I already saw sunlight.
I remember playing Five Nights at Freddy's 1 on my my dad's iPad when that came out, which scares me over two things. One, I'm old. Two, I've been here since the get-go. Remember when games used to come out within months? I don't. Yeah, you were probably supposed to come there with a B, but like FNAF 1 is funny. You can definitely tell it's the first installment in the franchise when it doesn't have that much lore.
Yeah.
FNAF 2 was actually the first game I ever bought on Steam. I don't know if that says anything about me as a person, but
I always found it hilarious how FNAF 1 is literally the least important FNAF game of all time.
It's important in the way that it started the franchise, but in terms of lore,
it's literally the least important. All it did was introduce the fact that there was a case of 5 missing children. And that should be explored in literally every other game afterwards.
FNAF 2, people, it's really hard. So therefore, it's frustrating.
Yeah, people don't like it because of that.
Like, if a game's too challenging, then it's not fun. Take it from me. FNAF 3. I remember when that one was meant to be like the last one.
By the way, are you not gonna get the notes over there?
Those don't bite. If you're a beast, I'll turn into a beast. If I can. No, I'll just use a little invincibility leaf. I really didn't like my. So like, FNAF 3, people liked, but then they thought the jump scares were not scary. So, and it was really going to be the last one, but since people said the jump scares aren't scary, Mr. Scott Cawthon was like, okay, I'll make a scary game for real this time. And then we got whatever FNAF 4 was, which relies on the good old process of hearing. Probably playing that with Max Calling headphones.
By playing that with the headphones that are broken.
It's fun. People are like, that's artificial horror.
We're forever proving that Five Nights at Freddy's fans will never be satisfied with literally anything.
True. But like, you know, then still, but people criticize. People liked it for the horror aspect. but they criticized the story for being confusing. Because we got a crybaby kid, he kisses the bear. Was that the bite of 87? But no, it was the bite of 83, actually. Apparently.
Yeah.
And then FNAF 4 was supposed to be the last game in the series, and even had the subtitle, the final chapter. And then FNAF World happened. You can actually still get it on Steam for free if you input a code. Windows commands. So I have it on Steam, and it's a game. And then we got FNAF 5, aka Sister Location. First one to have voice acting, apart from the phone guy. And I haven't played too much of Sister Location, so yeah. My thoughts aren't relevant as ever. And then everyone was like, okay, that's the last one in the series. And then we got FNAF 6, aka Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, disguised as a fucking business tycoon game.
Honestly, I would have preferred it if it was literally just a business tycoon game.
Then it turned out...
But then the ending was really good.
Nope. Lore. Connection terminated. So, I'm not... It's a cool thing. And everyone thought, okay, that's the end of the series, because I don't know if Ultimate Custom Night was ever canon. And then we got Help Wanted, which revealed, wow, everything's kind of a game. And I'm like, man. I mean, Help Wanted's cool, it's a VR game, but, you know. And then we got Security Breach. That is a full sentence.
Oh, there was another yellow one right behind you. I want to kill that thing for the help.
Also practice on the water ones. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is a mess. Can't wait for the movie. And the second movie. And the third movie. And the eventual 50 billion other movies.
Shout out to the people in charge of the movie for saying, fuck it, let's not make an adaptation, let's make an entirely new story.
Okay. At one point, the rights were at Warner Brothers, and then they canceled it. It took too long.
Presumably because they realized that this franchise is a fucking mess.
Yeah, and then they were like, and then we got the Banana Splits movie instead of having that instead.
Honestly, worth it.
I heard that movie is bad.
Yeah, but it's hilarious to think about the fact that it exists.
That's true. And now 8 years later, and we finally have the movie coming out. Now, how long will it take for the second movie?
Imagine if they make these films at the rate Scott did.
FNAF 2 in theaters, fucking...
3 months from now.
3 months from... People still debate online if the movie... what age rating the movie should receive.
But why though?
Because, like, PG-13, you can make more money and it's in line with the game's teen ratings. Or R, appeal to the older fans and have more. Which I just see as an attempt to be edgy.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go with PG-13 around here because let's be honest here, it'd be a fucking lame ass movie if like it ended with them getting killed.
Yeah. Also, there's a weirdly large amount of violence when you get away with it in PG-13.
Yeah.
So.
Because like, what's the point of introducing these two new characters if they're just gonna die? Seriously, what's the point?
Wow. Oh, and now every time I go to a movie theater, I always look for the poster for the movie. And I always take a picture of it. Because it's a work of art. People still think the red eyes, though. My sister says they're high.
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So yeah, FNAF will be the first one to make $1 billion. It'll sell 1 trillion tickets. So yeah, that was funny. Bruh. And then there's FNAF books. Don't get me started on that. Sea Bonnies. You know about the FNAF books?
I try not to think about them.
The one where, the one where the guy gets pregnant with a baby spring trap.
Yeah,
And
I try not to think about them.
He's like daddy. There's one that.
Look, I've already watched the Alice Mark video. I don't need to be fucking reminded about them.
The one that popped up in mind is that there's one where there's some girl who writes Fireman's Praise fan fiction. And I just think that's funny. Now, one thing I would like them to do for the movie is tie in with an actual pizzeria and put a Freddy Fazbear suit in there.
Pretty sure it's all CG.
They're actually real animatronics.
They look CG as all fuck.
They're real.
Damn.
Believe it or not. They are very, very real. Designed by the Jim Henson Company.
Hmm.
And it's creepy.
That's putting it lightly.
Anyway, last time...
Last time we were here, we spent most of it shit-talking Danganronpa.
Because that's our livelihoods.
I guess we could continue on.
Alright, I haven't played any other cases. Well, yet, because I haven't had my PC on. But I'll need to scrutinize the ever-living shit out of the series. I guess this is why the UK appeals to us. Because I like to hear us shit talk things. Sure. I don't want your damn androids. Oh. I'll deal with that later. I'm gonna deal with the bird. So chapter 4. Sakura fucking killed herself.
Yeah, and it goes to show that Asahina is a gullible idiot.
Yeah. Ooh, donut.
Thinking more along the lines of,
easy to believe things.
The fact that not only did she believe that Sakura would willingly blame all the people around her as the ones who killed her, But then the fact that she believes that Sakura would kill herself in a manner that didn't involve like wanting to basically make it up to like the people around her.
Yeah. He doesn't like this. It's really bad.
I could see it.
I'm just being careful.
You can still need like the more.
Maybe. Was it 15?
He might have said 10. I wouldn't remember.
One way to find out. Chomp. So, like, Sakura died, killed herself, and instead of an execution, because you can't really execute a dead guy, they executed a dead guy. Alter Ego is dead. Kind of.
By the way, I gotta say this, like, real bitch move from Asahina to decide, if my best friend dies, literally everyone dies!
Yeah, it was kind of... and I remember I watched this, really funny parody. It was like, everyone was texting speech voices. It was just a giant shitpost. So the entire shitpost retelling the entire Danganronpa 1 plot. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Reminds me of the fact that there's, this Danganronpa bridge series that, like, spans the first 2 games.
I don't know if you've
It's
seen
a
it.
fun miniseries.
I don't know if you've seen what I'm talking about, but
Might have. I don't really remember.
all your waifus are good. Have you... I'll just take that as you haven't seen them.
Probably not.
They're funny.
You might have to show it to me later.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. Probably after we're done with this game. They are some of the goofiest shit ever. But yeah, so they wrote Alter Ego, bam, chapter 4 is over, nobody else dies. Chapter 5 happened. No one dies. And then freaking Junko and Ashima decides to quote-unquote kill the 16th student that was hidden
Already dead.
all along, and was already dead. Died right in front of them, in fact.
I gotta say,
It moved so fucking dirty in the entire series.
Like, real ballsy move from Junko to like keep talking big about how despair constantly wins over hope, and like how like the way they've conducted themselves proves it in this in like the school. Meanwhile, you see her constantly going out of her way to cheat because she can't actually back up her claim. Because in reality, her entire message is bullshit.
Yeah. This is stupid. I hate for saying,
But like this bitch really is like despair wins it all the time. To like, excuse me, but it's not like you haven't been rigging the fucking game at every opportunity.
Exactly.
Heck, the only reason you lose is because you face 2 people who were somehow smarter than you. Miss Ultimate Analyst, my fucking ass.
Ultimate anal.
But like, seriously, how do you come out as the Ultimate Analyst and then somehow lose to both the Ultimate Detective and, oh yeah, the Ultimate Lucky fucking Student? What?
Because Danganronpa logic...
He needs 2 more.
I am. Because Danganronpa logic is a joke. I'm guessing that's and it turns out this is actually somehow the only part of the series that has multiple endings, because I just didn't think of it further on.
Yeah.
So if you lose in Chapter 5 class trial, Kyoko dies, Toko apparently kills herself, and everyone decides to have their babies with Asahina, because she's the only girl in the house.
Literally.
I don't know how they consented to that, but or they thought of that, but
I've seen at least one version that explains it.
wow.
And all I could, and I'd rather not go into that one. Like, all I could think when thinking of the scenario is, I guess Hero was right. He was right 30% of the time.
Right.
Because, get it? There's, like, 30% of the time, he would be right. Because either you basically get the bad ending, which is 1/3.
Yeah.
You succeed at the game at the very end, which is, 2/3.
Yeah.
Or, even though I don't think this is ever programmed into the game, because they don't really allow you to lose.
Yeah.
Like, in the universe, you could have lost the trial, which was a third,
Yeah.
So, in the universe, there was basically a possibility of 3 endings to how this could have gone down. So, Hero really was right 30% of the time.
Surprised I lived that. So yeah, that happened. Chapter 6. And I'll probably do more in-depth analysis when I actually play these chapters myself.
Junko's a bitch-ass cheating bitch.
I've come to make an announcement.
If we're making that announcement joke, let's be honest here, Makoto's Eggman right now. Because he basically goes out of his way to now that everything's out there, he's like, let's see the morgue. Oh, what's this?
Chapter 6. The end of the game. And it should have been the entire franchise because the writing just gets worse and worse. No matter how much money I'll throw at this stupid game. Why can't I jump up? And I can't get to B, so I have to phone and grab those things. Okay, invisibility leaf it is.
All I could say,
Danganronpa 1 is a game.
No, all I could say about, the whole situation with Junko's cheating is that it's blatantly hilarious how the franchise keeps trying to convince us that she's this master, thinker who's, constantly one-upping everyone. But here I am thinking, she can't even succeed at her main goal in the first game. Why the fuck are you guys trying to make it seem like she's this brilliant person?
Then we got our ass kicked by some random guy who won the lottery.
Sure, Makoto is more than actually that, because in reality, the guy is some weird level of... There's some weird bullshit where he has, the most optimism out of anyone in, history or something like that.
Right.
But, that doesn't change the fact that he quite literally, theoretically, is meant to be the most average person there. And yet, he's somehow the second smartest person in the entire fucking class.
Well,
and I say that because Kirigiri technically exists, and she should basically fall under the smartest person. But in reality, the fact that she figured it out at the very end implies that he's smarter than her too.
We just some random.
Because he has to spell it out for her.
I want to make sure I have 2 of these, or at least.
Yeah. It is hilarious to me that people, think Makoto ain't shit. But meanwhile, all I can think is, this motherfucker's outdid literally every single other person in this class, because all of them are goddamn idiots.
Not wrong.
Literally everyone constantly, downplays his intelligence, and I do see this a lot. Where, they basically say, the 3 smartest students in that class are basically, in no particular order, Kyoko, Byakuya, and Junko. But all I can think is, clearly that's wrong, because if we see the game, you can tell that Makoto's smarter than than most of these characters, because he legitimately beats them at several different times. Like Byakuya cannot even like come close to understanding what the hell's going. Like he has to be thinking to like solve this stuff.
Yeah.
And out of the three, he's easily the dumbest because he constantly gets in his own way because his own fucking ego makes him incapable of understanding that there are other ways to do shit than the way he's doing it. Meanwhile, Kyoko actually seems to be as intelligent as the game makes her out to be. But even then, she has to have like the secret of the game spoiled to her by Makoto because she herself can't figure it out. And Junko, if Junko was as smart as she claimed she was, she would have had like Makoto killed immediately.
That is true. Alright, so in conclusion, Danganronpa 1 is a video game.
In conclusion, Danganronpa 1 has a lot of flaws, but out of the series, it's still my favorite.
That is the same. And then
it also helps that, unlike Danganronpa 2 and 3, the characters are a lot more believable.
B3.
No, I'm just talking about the original continuity. I'm not even going to talk into what the fuck's going on with B3 yet.
Yeah. So we're not there yet.
Because, 3 exists.
I try not to acknowledge existence.
But, like, Danganronpa 2 and 3 both have an issue of, like, weirdo syndrome.
Fine.
Literally, as the series goes on, they have to introduce more and more weirdos to like make the cast still seem interesting.
Yeah. We got Ifumi. We got Teru. We got the imposter from Among Us.
I was talking about just how the way the characters act. Like, do you honestly believe anyone acts like Mikon?
No. Maybe there's someone out there that does.
Like, even then, she's one of the more normal students in her game.
Yeah. So Danganronpa 1's a game, in conclusion. On to Danganronpa 2, Hit by Despair. This is not counting the school modes, because other than, besides, we'd be talking about how Makoto fucks everyone all day.
Danganronpa 2.
Danganronpa 2 is my least favorite in the series, even though one of the characters is just for profile picture for the longest
It has
time.
it has some of the best characters in the entire franchise. But every time I think about this game, all I can think is this game has done irreparable damage to the entire franchise. It is the catalyst for what is wrong with the rest of the franchise.
Reason number 1, it's a sequel to Danganronpa 1, which proves that this wasn't just a one-off, and the nightmare will continue on forever.
Reason number 2, it copped out and brought back Junko. They couldn't come up with anything new. They just had to say, Junko's back.
Sup, bitch? I uploaded my AI consciousness to this thing. More on that. Anyway,
issue number 3, it introduced Kameda.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. And
I'm sorry, but to the many fangirls that Kameda has, Kameda is easily one of the most annoying asshole characters I've ever had the displeasure of dealing with in a video game. Yeah. He is so obnoxious about about his weird ass inferiority-superiority complex. Where like he feels like he's inferior to everyone, but then consequently also believes he's superior to anyone who's not an ultimate.
Yeah. How fun.
He's just not pleasant to be around. And I get that that's the point. But at the same time, I don't like having to interact with assholes. There's a reason why a lot of the asshole-ish characters were the first ones to die in the first game.
Sayaka died.
Celeste died. Iwata died. Leon.
That was him. Oh. I thought I was safe here. Will you stop doing that to me? That's a fine lord.
And even if I like her, let's be honest here, Mukuro.
R.I.P. She got done.
She got done dirty, but
So-
let's be realistic. No matter what, she's still kind of evil.
That is true.
Like, her moral compass can easily be summed up to, like, being in two scenarios. Does Junko want this, or does Makoto want this?
You know, well, speaking of bringing Junko back, while I was doing my rewatch of Star Wars Episode 9, I was like,
Palpatine.
yeah, I was like, man, this sounds like something Junko would do. So I just threw that into the script.
But, like, Kamina is just awful to have to deal with his dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't get why, I don't get it. Well, technically I do get it. Like, seeing just how ridiculous he is can be amusing at times. But, like, at the same time, do I really have to hear his, like, 50th speech about why Ultimates are so fucking amazing? And his, like, fifth, like, just diss towards Hajime for not being an Ultimate.
It gets to the point where enough is enough. Yeah, no.
Also, he got Chiaki killed, so fuck him!
Fuck that piece of shit. I will kill him myself if I have to. Anyway. Go harder. Now to go over the game on a case-by-case basis. Literally.
Wait. It introduced another character that I really don't like having to deal with. Hiyoko.
Oh. I was gonna guess, but then I was like, oh, okay. After you said that, I was like, okay, yeah, there was no other contender.
Hiyoko, god fucking damn it, is Hiyoko just as bad, if not worse, than Kameda at times.
Remember?
She luckily dies fast.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason why I don't view her as worse than Kameda. Kameda is there for the vast majority of the game.
Unfortunately.
He dies in, like, the second to last chapter. But fucking Hiyoko dies by the third case. Thank God.
I'm hoping you can play up. I hope that JD will be there in the winter theme. Komeda died. Hiyoko dies in the third case, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I thought you said Komeda dies in the third case.
I said Komeda dies in the second to last case.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually. Pull out my nerd glasses and go like,
Well, like,
fucking hell.
it doesn't help that her shtick of being a being a teenager that acts and looks like a little kid gets really fucking obnoxious because you know for a fact she's your age.
Lollies.
I'm sorry, but if you look that way and you act that way, prepare to be treated that way because I'm gonna fucking punch you like the little kid you look like.
I mean, I hate children, so I will gladly punch her in the face. Free of charge.
I said punt.
Oh.
Not even punch, I'm a kicker.
I'll do both. At the same time.
But like, why did they think that was a good idea? Yes, I know there are teenagers who look young because puberty's a bitch. But they didn't have to make her this obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, she acts like every sociopathic little kid who's gonna grow up to be a serial killer. Well, the whole fascination of killing bugs and stuff like that. But then you're meant to sympathize with her.
Sometimes I look at myself and think, am I going to be a serial killer?
And all I can think is, I'm sorry, but I really can't make it, like, bring myself to give a shit about her.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, the character she's associated more with her is, like, considered more bland, but is significantly much more, like, interesting and enjoyable to be around.
My hero.
Like, in My Hero's main trait is the fact that she's kind of a bitch about gender traits to the point where, like, she views men as having to be, like, basically, the toxic masculinity. That should not be an enjoyable character trait. But it is because of the fact that in reality it's stemming from a bunch of bullshit revolving around her family. And she's willing to acknowledge she's in the wrong, like, when you get close to her. You know, which is more introspection than you can get from fucking Yoko!
That is true.
God.
People out there do consider Kyoko a waifu.
Well, I'd only accept it for 3's version, if only just because that's when she looks like she should, be acceptable as a thing.
Yeah. So I remember...
It is even weirder when you remember that Kyoko does in fact get like to be one of the 2 stars to the purview scene of the game.
Oh yeah, that. Shout out to me accidentally browsing Predator's lore and finding that uncensored scene with like no build up. So that kind of scared me. So I remember when we were doing our very epic Danganronpa S series, we had Kyoko as a character option, and I clearly remember neither of us really wanted to do it, so we spun a fucking wheel and landed on Kyoko. Which goes to show how much this game hates it. How much Danganronpa hates us. I mean, things could be worse. Actually, no. Things should not be worse.
No, they could be worse. Kotoko.
Oh yeah. Or Monica.
Or the thing is, Kotoko's lesser personality and a lot more the uncomfortable implications of her existence.
More so, any Open Spirit Girls character that isn't Kamaru.
Kamaru's like the best character introduced in that game.
Even though we did like 2, I think 1 or 2 of the kids. No, that was a separate. Man, I'm old. Do you think I remember the exact look people we did? Actually, I put them in the thumbnail, but check it at once.
We did 2 of the boys.
Yeah.
Masaru and
Nagisa?
Yeah, I think that's her name.
Yeah. I bought the game on Steam and been playing it, loading my own stuff. I rolled once in the gacha thing. I got every character now. Not like in terms of like swimsuit stuff, but I got like all the normal versions. In one go, I maxed it out.
Nice.
And that's what I call luck. No, if I'm being honest, I don't think if we ever do go back to that, I don't think we'll ever be able to top what we did with Nevermaru. So, that was peak. The gods were on us that day. Anyhow, on to the, actually, I was gonna say, I remember, what's a bird? I was casually watching, like, videos, and I heard this story of, like, some Tumblr user, years ago, who, either was a Naruto cosplayer or just really liked the guy a lot, but posted some audio of, them cutting off part of their body, and they, never showed up again. And I don't know if that was actually, like, real or fabricated. But I know it's out there somewhere. Like, yeah, I'm gonna cut off my hand for clout.
It's gonna cut it off because that's what Naruto did.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that in a bit, but now I will scrutinize the game on a case-by-case basis, literally. So we open with Hajime Hinata, who's a person.
He's essentially Makoto, but worse.
I mean, yeah.
People find him more interesting because he's edgier, but I'm gonna be honest here. I don't view that as an interesting character trait because
equals cool.
Because in general, I kind of view him as the biggest fucking idiot in the entire franchise.
You're not wrong.
Because thanks to 3, I know exactly how he acted before. Izuru, and he threw away a perfectly good Chiaki just for fucking talent. which is basically about the same equivalent of chopping your own hand off for clout.
I mean, it's a good thing those stupid school mode things, fucking from V3 bonus mode in S, that he just like, you know what? I don't need talent. I got the gamer girl waifu right here.
He got one of if not the best girl in the entire franchise, and he's still bitching about how he's a talentless nobody.
Come on, you got the gamer girl. Free bathwater. This is where I stop.
Yeah, that's a bad show.
Anyways, we got our typical cast of characters, colorful cast of buffoons. What do you mean Mumbo's on vacation? Damn, I guess B was only accessible in spring.
Yeah. Makes sense, B lifespans.
Well, starts to be me.
But yeah, just like...
we got our colorful cast, everything's normal, and we get the magical miracle girl teacher, Usami.
No, technically I wasn't even done my rant about Hajime.
Oh my gosh.
Just... Why the fuck do people think he's better than, like, Shuichi or, like, Naegi?
Okay.
Or hell, even Komaru. That people legitimately say he's the best protagonist out of all of them.
Okay, in my opinion, he is better than Shuichi because I'm not the biggest fan of him.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Shuichi either. But Shuichi isn't a fucking gibbering moron like Hajime.
That's true.
Shuichi is probably the most realistic out of all the protags because he's basically just a regular person. Because he literally is a regular person.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is again another call out to the idea that Makoto is the most basic ass character in this franchise. Because I'm sorry, but have you seen most of V3? Talking about Shuichi's like thought processes.
Alright, I'm about to die.
Like, if you've seen V3, then you should know that if there's any protag that has that gets the call for most like basic, going by just sheer like thoughts and like opinions, it's Shuichi.
Yeah.
Like, Makoto does not react like any regular person would ever react to these situations. He sure, at the moment he gets like sad and all about that, but he like instead of like grieving like a regular person, he takes like 5 minutes and then he's immediately like, no, we can't let the mastermind win. We have to pull through. We have to keep hope. Essentially showing that his thought process goes from one of my friends are dead, and immediately goes on to, okay, we have to keep together. We have to win this. Like, essentially showing that he's a lot more deterministic than Shuichi or Hajime. Let's be honest.
Yeah. At least I'm talking.
Like, he doesn't lose as many of his friends, but that's because you can tell that the cast is a lot closer to each other, which means that they tend to they're less likely to go around killing each other. Which is hilarious because if there's any person asking for it in this franchise, it's probably Byakuya.
And then, so case chapter. We made our new marking the bear thing, except this time it's a rabbit. Usami, magical miracle girl, Usami, aka Usami.
By the way, that shit gets annoying real fast.
Yeah. And then, bam! Everything's all happy and healthy. And then, big bad Wanted Cooper comes in and forces, what's her name? Usami to become his little brother.
Little sister.
Monami. Plot twist, Monami's a boy. Don't look too deep into that, folks.
It's not. He just fucked up.
That was a mental blunder. I do that sometimes, you know? It's called talking. I'm a normal person. Like most people on the internet.
Well, like, yeah, that's the thing that happens. And, like, we get introduced to the vast majority of the characters in the course of this entire, like, thing.
So do we dissect each character one by one, or as they die?
Let's go. Last time we went as they die, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we never really went over Sakura and...
Sakura cool.
Yeah, Sakura is, like, up there for best character. Her main like issue, like keeping her from being the best, is the fact that she's just kind of, how do I say this? There. She doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
Like, presumably because she spends most of the game trying to avoid having to kill anyone, even while she's being blackmailed. Like the main thing, like, that Sakura does over the course of the game is basically just be there, be strong, and keep, like, stall out Junko until Junko says enough is enough, kill someone, before she decides that, okay, I can't let anyone take a fall for my cowardice, so she kills herself.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Meanwhile, this chapter goes out of its way to do everything it can to try and ruin Asina's character.
Come on!
Which is presumably why, even though she's also hinted to have feelings for Makoto, out of like the main love interest for Makoto, she's not even like in contention.
Ouch.
Which is like hilarious because she probably has a higher chance than most of the other girls that are viable love interests for him, because she actually survives up until the end of 3.
Yeah.
Which is more than you could say about Kyoko. You get it?
Yes, I unfortunately do get it.
But yeah,
More on that later.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Danganronpa 2 cast, or Super Danganronpa 2 SDR2, as it was called in Japan.
So before we do that, let's talk about the motivation for this first chapter. The motivation is there is no motivation. It's just the fact that it's been revealed that there's going to be a killing game, and Kameda decides to be a bitch-ass bitch who decides that the best way to, like, say the best thing to do at this moment is to kill someone and start the killing game because he is the worst. Seriously, Monokuma would have basically been unable to get away with shit had fucking, like, fucking Kameda not decided to immediately to immediately do exactly what Monokuma wants.
Yeah. What? So yeah. So that's the motive. Fuck Kameda. If anyone watching happens to like Kameda, one, I'm so sorry that you like Kameda, and two, I'm not sorry for what we say.
Yeah. Let's be honest here, most Kameda fans aren't actually Kameda fans. They're Kameda x Hajime fans.
Fun. That's a whole other can of worms.
Well, how many people do you see actually enjoy Kameda outside of the context of a ship? That's what I thought.
I want to say I've seen one, because I've pretty much seen everything. But I'd have to think on that, actually, so I'll be back with I'll think on that. But from what I know, like, off my immediate knowledge, no, I haven't seen anything like that.
You might want to...
Yeah, I might want to. I don't know. So, character... We talked about Hajime, right?
Destroy the...
No. It duplicates. That means we get 2 of these health honeycomb things. We talked about Hajime, we talked about Nagito.
Well, we didn't really talk about Hajime, we ranted about how he's kind of a terrible protagonist. And how his fans really need to stop hyping him up. Because yes, we get it, he's the edgy protag.
We ranted about Nagito, and I don't want to talk about him more, so we'll leave it at that.
We'll rant more about how dumb Hajime is when we get to the major twists revolving around him.
We've ranted about Kyoko.
But she's not important to this chapter. The only characters that are actually important in this chapter are Teru and the Imposter.
Among Us?
So, before we get to the imposter and the copious amount of Among Us jokes this guy will have, let's talk about Teru Teru.
Ah, yes. Everyone's favorite character.
Teru Teru
Fucking hell!
is a pervert. That is his major character trait. And the only other major character trait is that he is a chef.
But, and the class trusts this motherfucker to cook for them?
Granted, the one time they actually did get roofied, it was actually Hyoko, but let's be honest here, that was never going to be like a one-time deal.
Yeah. And then, so Teru Teru is one of those odd-looking characters that
automatically makes him like one of the least popular.
Yeah, because actually I don't have a reason for that.
Just like with things like total drama, people's enjoyment comes more out of like
Looks.
Yeah. Why do you think Kameda is so popular? Even though
He's ugly.
Like he's in actuality like one of the worst characters to deal with. Physically looking, in the eyes of like teenage like girls everywhere, he's basically their dreamboat. He's literally a teenage white-haired twink.
Fine. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Am I missing something from this? Fuck, where were the... Goddamn. First, by lack of infinite knowledge. When's the Microsoft Activision decision going to be thrown down? That's going to drive me insane. The second it goes down, I'm just going to send you what the decision was.
Yeah. But like, Teru, his major motivation in life is the fact that he comes from a struggling restaurant-owning family. Which, I might be wrong on that. I don't really remember. I don't care to look it up again. Doesn't the fact that they own a restaurant imply that they were well off at one point?
Probably.
To be fair, that's a stupid thing. People can make restaurants on their own. They just go to deep debt to the banks. But like, the fact of the matter is, no matter how sympathetic he gets, we're never going to let go of the fact that he spends 95% of his dialogue hitting on everybody.
Fun.
Like, you know how people talk about like how you say a word so often it loses all meaning?
Yeah.
I think the joke here was that they tried doing the exact same thing with innuendos. But after a while, it doesn't lose all meaning. It becomes really fucking creepy as you keep on saying, no, I don't want to. Basically, they decided to make the chef a sexual harasser, and they didn't see a single thing wrong with that.
How fun. I guess people can make the excuse of, this was a different time, but...
Yeah, it was a different time. That doesn't change the fact that it's not something you want to see.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, if you could give shit to, like, characters from the 2000s for, you know, acting like perverts, I'm gonna give shit to this character from the 2010s who acts like a fucking pervert.
It's very fair. Don't say anything about that.
I'm saying.
Anyway. Teru.
Like, seriously, by the 2010s, they should have known better. Granted, this is Japan, and they take, what, 2 decades to get to where everyone is in modern day? Culturally, like,
True.
with society.
Gamer picture. Wow, we got bird. I'm not changing it.
Bird up.
Bird up. Meow.
But like, freaking, no matter what, it's just dumb. And oh yeah, his motivation for killing is even worse. You wanna know how bad it is?
How?
I don't even fucking remember it. That is how little motivation they give him. I think it's basically Sayaka's motivation again of wanting to head back to their family or something like that. But like, I'm sorry. You need to come up with something better than literally rehashing the last first killer.
You know, Danganronpa likes to do rehashing a lot. And we'll point that out as time goes on.
Yeah.
So,
and, oh yeah, unlike the literal hellscape that is the idol industry, that makes you kind of understand why Sayaka would be so obsessive about getting back to that, because if you were an idol, it is a hellscape to even get as far as she did. So the idea that you could lose it all because someone just decided to lock you up is a very horrifying and realistic thing that could happen to an actual idol.
Turns out the extra honeycomb is up here.
I thought there was a second one that you don't have.
I do. At the very end. I also know where that is. It was where that window is, and then I accidentally fucking missed and fell down. Okay. Going on, yeah, Teru. Stupid.
Teru is just a character I don't like having to deal with.
And now for the other important character, Chapter 1.
The imposter.
The imposter from a month.
Why are you going down?
I don't know.
You're gonna die.
I'm gonna die. I died.
You were literally up there for
Look, I slipped. Okay? Your officer. I fucking slipped. So the imposter from the ultimate imposter, and oh boy, 2020 was a mistake.
All I can think is, I mean, he's nicer than Tagami.
It's just Tagami, but nice.
That's really it. Which really brings the question: how is he the ultimate imposter if he can't even act in character?
It's like what Perfect Heart is a sweetheart from Amori. Where she's just literally sweetheart but nice.
I mean, it's something, but yeah.
But yeah, the imposter was a character I did not care for until 2020 happened and ruined society.
Then it became one of the biggest running jokes.
Have you ever heard of this hit game called Among Us? I remember I was watching a Let's Play of a streamer playing the game blind in 2021.
Why are you even trying to stop? You can just land on something by touching the floor.
Because that is where I need to go. So I was watching a blind Let's Play from a streamer on Twitch.
Huh.
And he also streams Among Us sometimes. So he was playing the Danganronpa series blind. And then he got to the part where he was revealed he was the ultimate imposter. And the reaction went as well as you would expect. Imposter! Started crying.
Do you need anything else, or do you just go back?
I think there's one singular Jiggy I'm missing.
Yeah, that's the one that was unlocked by stomping on that Grundy thing.
Oh, no, that counts for the lair.
Oh.
I got the Jinjo one, I got the bird one, I got the flower one, I got the squirrel acorn one, I got the beaver one, I got the platforming one, I got the bee one. I'm apparently missing one in the summer, so I'll go grab that one. Okay. So, the imposter among us is, sus. I mean, he can't be the imposter if he died.
Yeah, there really isn't much to say about him. I guess we could go over the horrible war crimes they all committed when they were the remnants of despair.
Well, we can get onto that when we rant about 3.
Yeah, no, it's revealed in 2, so we can rant about it earlier.
Okay, well, we'll get to it when we get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so imposter dies.
The imposter is a non-entity that really is only there to make you confused as to why the fuck Bianca is there, and also why the fuck he's so goddamn fat.
Imposter dies. Terra was put alive, and it tastes really good. And I mean, wait, what? You think they served Terra after he was killed? Actually, don't think too hard on that.
Yeah, no.
Chapter 2. Chapter 2. We have our victim.
No, the motivation first. The motivation is basically like a reference to a game that Spike Chunsoft came out with like long ago. And also they changed the names to be that, and the scenario to be that of like character, like people related to the characters here. And yeah, we get to see this scenario play out in Danganronpa 3.
Yeah.
All I could say is, it really does seem to me like Hajime, like, as much as Hajime really disliked Fihiko's sister.
Natsumi.
Yeah. And is it just me, or does it feel like she was basically just assumed in it?
I can see where you're getting at.
She gave way too much attention to the guy.
Nah, sorry, madam. I already have my set sights on this deeper girl.
No, but at this point he's like, oh, no one would love me, I'm not talented! Fucking hell. You whiny piece of shit! Do you have even the slightest idea as to how, like, much talent is actually weighed in real life? I get it that it's a world that puts, extraneous wealth on, it just an extraneous amount of pressure on people to be as talented as possible. But I'm sorry to say this, but no matter how talented any of these talented characters are, it's not because they were born with a natural an actual natural born talent. Have you ever seen any of these guys? If you look at the first game, the vast majority of the characters acknowledged that, with the exception of Leon, almost every single one of them put in actual efforts or had an actual reasoning as to why they were able to build up this skill in the first place.
Yeah.
Even Kyoko, whose main thing is that she's basically the eugenics project of a family of detectives, has to acknowledge that she actually did go on cases well before she even got to high school. Leon is legitimately the only character in that first game
I did get that.
That basically outright states, oh no, it's literally all things I was born with.
Yeah.
Everyone else talks about how much training and effort they had to give in to even get to the point where they are at this moment. Meanwhile, Hajime talks about how he basically tried everything, even though no shit you're not going to be given the ultimate talent at anything if you're going to stretch yourself out and do everything. Haven't you ever heard of the trait Jack of all but master of none? You were basically setting yourself up for disappointment by not just buckling down and deciding to do one thing alone. Anyways, Natsumi actually did realize that it's a terrible idea to try and spec on literally everything, by instead trying to focus on one thing. But she also just kind of happened to decide to go for it on the year that they had someone who was already doing that. And if I remember correctly, wasn't it kind of insinuated that Natsumi, Sato, and Mahiru all knew each other from middle school?
Yeah.
So Natsumi stupidly decided that she wanted to go for the photography talent, even though she already knew there was someone in her year that had that as a major talent, because quite literally, it's something she's been trying to do her entire life, because she looks up to her photographer of a mother.
Yeah. Okay. So that's their motive. Something.
Basically, Sato is a jealous bitch who thinks that the only way to get into Mahiru's pants is to kill Natsumi.
I actually forgot Sato's character. So like, I
can understand why you forget. 3 is so forgettable.
Yeah, so it's like I was reading this thing on AO3 because I do that. Big shocker, I know. And they keep mentioning this character called Sato, and I was like, who the fuck is Sato? So I looked up Sato Danganronpa, and it turns out the character from 3, and I was like, oh, so that's why I don't know her. Or don't.
But yeah, there's a reason why, and it's because she's easily one of the worst players in 3.
Yeah.
Her motivation is quite literally that, like, essentially she has like a massive crush on her best friend. And, like, it's not like outright stated, but yeah, that's basically it, right?
Yeah.
And she does some terrible things to deal with that. Meanwhile, Mahiru has to deal with the fact that her best friend did all these terrible things, and then because Sato is caught, unlike a lot of the other cases, this shit's brought into like the forefront of like everything.
Yeah.
Like, Mahiru finds out that Sato did it, but because Sato did it in a way that could eventually be traced back to her, she's caught.
Yeah.
But she's not caught by, the police or anything like that. No, she's caught by the older brother of the girl she killed, who was, the fucking heir to a huge Yakuza family? How stupid can you get?
I don't know, how stupid.
You know for a fact this chick literally has underworld connections. Why would you attempt to murder her? Better yet, why would you attempt to fight her? Like, yes, Natsumi was threatening Mahiru. But let's be perfectly honest here. Natsumi would not have been able to actually hurt Mahiru. Because the second Fuyuhiko found out about this, he wouldn't have allowed it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because by that point in the story, like, everyone in Class 78 is basically being forced to become friends by their teacher. So by that point...
Danganronpa 2 is Class 77.
Yeah, Class 77, fuck, I forgot. By that point, like, Mahiru and Fuyuhiko are already on friendly terms. If Natsumi tried to put a hit on a classmate of his, all it would have done was basically, like alerted to Fuyuhiko to the fact that, yeah, his sister was causing some trouble, and she would have just been put into, like, basically timeout. Because let's be perfectly honest here. Do you think Fuyuhiko would have allowed it to happen?
No.
No. But by that point, like, Chiaki and fucking what's her face?
Its name
Chisa.
Chisa.
Like, had already all but succeeded at basically making Class 77 friends.
Friends are... No.
All of this falls apart because of things like Junko and Sato.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact of the matter is, Sato is easily one of the biggest fuck-ups in 3 story. And coincidentally, that means she's the biggest fuck-up in 2 story, because her entire thing is one of the main motivators as to why Fuyuhiko does what he does over the course of 3. Meaning, she's directly responsible for, like, the shit that he did.
Yeah.
I say that, but it won't actually hold true. Even though she's, like, a major motivation as to why, like, things start falling apart for everything.
There it is.
We then find out that no! The terrible stuff going on around their lives isn't what ultimately puts them to fall into despair. We'll get back to that at 3.
Okay, because 3 is another can of worms.
But basically, the case around Natsumi, Sato, and Mahito is the main motivating factor of 2. Well, like the second case of 2.
Yeah.
More importantly, it's the fact that Fuyuhiko kind of put together what the hell was going on in the character page of that game. So he played it in full. He then goes out of his way to try and confront Mahito. And because Peko is Peko, and you know what I mean by when I say Peko is Peko. Peko is the one that actually does the killing blow.
Boom.
More importantly, Fuyuhiko again shows he probably wouldn't have gone through with Natsumi's threat by literally like revealing that he basically was about to back out of the whole like actually attacking a Mahito thing at the very end. Again, because Peko's Peko, she doesn't like actually like stop to actually even think about Fuyuhiko's wants. She thinks she just knows what he would want.
What is that? All the judges and notes. All.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Fuyuhiko's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, because on some level, he's aware that yes, the game might be telling the truth, but he's also aware that this easily could have been Monokuma just fucking with them.
Yeah.
Which is why he was prepared to just back out. Like, he had her attack, but it's basically all but stated. Fuyuhiko had no intention of actually having her killed. Again, showing that Mahito was never in any danger in 3.
Okay.
So, thanks to Peko not even attempting to like look deeper into to the thought processes of her quote unquote master, she was put to execution.
Fine.
Mahito, like I mentioned, is a character who, on the outset, looks blander than Makoto. I'm sorry, but it's true. She's a cute girl, and that's why people give her a pass. But really, her main thing isn't actually anything related to do with her appearance or anything like that, but rather her backstory. And more importantly, like why she acts the way she does in relation to like Hajime when you first started interacting with her. Specifically, the whole why she like basically has that whole boys need to be doing things in a specific way mentality, and it's because she basically has that horrible relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
But as you get through with the social, yeah, I'm just gonna call it social link. Let's be honest here.
It's called Bond.
It's basically a social link.
I know. It's called Bonds in game, but I get them mixed up all the time because they're basically the same game. They're not the same game. And now,
they're the same thing. Downright in Persona 5, they now give bonuses. Calling it the Bonds.
Yeah.
But this game like puts an extra emphasis on these Bond things. But like because of it, like they start fleshing out the bonds a lot more in this game.
Yeah. Well,
Mahito like eventually comes to terms with the idea that the problem isn't her father at all, because he basically has crippling depression. Essentially, she's giving shit to her dad because he's mentally unwell and can't really do anything for himself.
Yeah. Well, I gotta run to the bathroom, and that's like the last world after, so we'll continue this next episode.
So.